Hello, Michele. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Michele. Hi,
Hi.
So, Michele, you have to tell us, how was your session with Michele the Great, as I like to call her?
Well, I actually had two sessions. Well, which Michele are you talking about?
I'm talking about LCT Michele. You tell us about the session and what did you think? How did it go? What were your thoughts? What was your pricing like before? Tell us everything.
Okay. Well, so I actually had two meetings with Michele, and I'm going to be booking another one. So there's a lot to unpack. But yeah, I think if I were to choose like a recurring theme in our meeting, it would be value, because, I would say that Michele kind of spoke some life into me, because she was able to see in my business and the value that my business had, and kind of say that to me, and it really touched me, and it empowered me, right? Because we're so busy that we don't see the impact, because we're so busy in the work. So that conversation alone meant a lot, Michele, when you shared those things about.
I got all the feels.
So that's the first thing. And the next thing too, also related to value, is value that I'm placing on the tasks that I'm doing. Like, I wasn't actually putting a value on every single thing. Yeah, of course I do a lot of back end work. Of course I do like the research and the writing. And I'm thinking, okay, all that goes with the territory. If I'm a content writer, if I'm doing this. And so I'm like, it's all a part of the process of building a program and a curriculum. And I wasn't assigning a value to those things, right? And so, Michele was able to put a numeric value, and I was able to see that. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's what it really costs. That's how much it should really cost the client to get this particular service versus, what it was before. So, it's I will say that it's a work in progress, because when you see those numbers, you have fear, you have doubt, you have things, and you like I mentioned earlier, I have to constantly remind myself to focus on the facts and not the feelings, because the facts are, this is all the work that I'm doing, and this is the value of the work. And not only that, Michele also reminded me that the work that I'm doing is not just a one and done. Like, there is a residual value that the client has with the work that I do. They get access to my intellectual property. There is value, right? And so,
ma'am.
That's the first part.
And notice she's leaning in as she's telling you this. She is leaning in.
Wow.
It was great.
First part.
That's the first part. Now we get into where we're actually looking at the spreadsheet and plugging in the numbers and doing all the work. And, I was able to actually, at my second meeting with Michele, we went through the process of seeing what the proposal, working through a proposal from start to finish, because I actually had a meeting with a potential client, and they wanted to they wanted to hire me for a job, and I needed to send them a proposal. So we were able to play with the numbers and play with all of the tasks that went with what they were asking, and see in black and white what this was going to cost, which was nothing like what I had in my mind.
Right. Like, it's going to be $5. Michele is like, it's like $1 million.
Yeah, pretty much. And so again, reminding myself that there is value. And Michele also says, I'm not for everybody. The service that I'm offering, not everybody's going to be able to, to afford it. I can't market to every person who cannot pay my price. And I have to remind myself of that, because being an educator and being in the that I am, you want to help everybody.
Right.
But that's just,
you
can't. Exactly.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
You can't.
Let's get some comments here, ladies. Michele G is amazing.
Oh.
Focus on the facts and not the feelings. New t-shirt alert. Right?
Did she just challenge me to add a product? Oh, I'm going to have merch now? I'm going to have merch? Wow.
Yes. So, Michele the Great, tell us a little bit about... Well, that's how we're going to separate it.
Oh, my gosh.
Tell us a little bit about working with Michele. And I mean, I know I love what she's doing. I love
I do too.
You know what I mean? Professional development. I think it's amazing. So talk a little bit about what you saw and how you approached it.
Yeah. Well, first I'll go back and tell you something I told Michele. When you presented the businesses that we were working with, I have a lot of in my circle of friends, educators. And I called them. I was like, you're not going to believe who I'm working with. I have, they're coming into my sphere and I'm able to help them. And I feel like I'm giving back. And this is going to be such a delight to work with and give me some information and educate me a bit on some things because I want to make sure I'm providing value to Michele. And as we were going through, it was just such easy conversation back and forth and uncovering her opportunity, the potential that she has. She's got her game down packed. She knows what she's doing, where she's going. What we're doing is her blind spots. We're filling that blind spot. And as we talk through the very specific things that are required of her in each one of these projects, we literally opened up the calculator, the service pricing calculator, and plotted that information in and assigned not only a time, but a value to it. And having her understand, well, when you're with these people, you're unavailable to anyone else who wants your time. So that's lost revenue if you don't assign a time to it, if you don't assign a value to it. And you could see her wheels turning. Every time we went through components of it, she really understood that. And it was such a joy. So yes, we do have a third call coming up, and it's specific to pricing to nail that piece down so that she can manage this and ask for her value and walk away if it's not what she really wants to do, or be selective within that ask of here's what I'm willing to do, but here's what I'm willing to walk away from. So that was really, really great.
So I'm sure it's a switch in gears, your perspective now, like, what?
Right. And Tara, one of the things we talked about too is because she's looking to serve a community of people who look like us, brown and Black people people don't understand how to communicate with them. And that typically we tend to believe that it's in specifically underserved communities. What she's providing, where she needs to go, she has to be really careful and really targeted and sailing in which market she's going into, which school districts are right for her.
Right.
Everybody's not going to be right for her. And now you could see her pulling her shoulders back and sitting comfortably in that seat of, well, no, this is who I am. This is my value. And no, you're not right for me. Right. I could see her just not dismissing because that's rude, but saying, well, no, let me put you over here. Let me invite you out. Or I'm only going to take this part of it because this component of this is actually attractive to me, not only in what I want to do and what's going to make me thrive, but revenue wise and what's going to move my business forward. This is allowing her to really understand that.
Absolutely.
Definitely increasing my money mindset, I would say.
Wow.
All right. I might take that from you. Increase my money mindset.
Give me another t-shirt alert. Increasing my money mindset right here with this conversation. Michele, I have to tell you though, that was something that was hard for me. Sometimes when you see the numbers the first time, you're like, what? I could ask for that? What? You sure?
That's exactly how I felt when I saw the numbers. I was like, that's just for one thing. I mean, they asked for two things.
Right. I've worked with Michele before to get to a number, and I'm not going to lie. The first time the number was so big that I was uncomfortable. I was really uncomfortable with it. But then when she started breaking it down and I started looking at that time that you put into it, right? The research, the understanding, the intellectual property, the obsessiveness, all things that you do to get to the product that is an amazing product. Sometimes it's customized or tailored for them. It's something that you have to really take a step back and be like, wait, the value of my time is really this. And once you understand the value of your time, price becomes so much easier. And even the first no to that price, again, you really say, hey, not my target audience. That's okay. Let's keep moving. Let's keep pushing until I get the target. So I think you have some really great things there. And I'm glad that you're able to kind of now feel comfortable with pricing.
Definitely more comfortable for sure. For sure. It really helped. It opened my eyes. It definitely opened my eyes. And so I'm more comfortable looking at those numbers and seeing how how what I provide aligns with those numbers. You really do have to build. I'm sorry, you do have to build your money, your money mindset. In Rachel Rogers' books, Everyone Should Be a Millionaire, she talks about that because we all have things attached to our mindset about money from childhood that we're not aware of. We have to confront those things so that we can build a more positive relationship with money. So how we see money, it really is. It stems from what our past is with money. And for a lot of people who look like us, we don't have those kinds of positive experiences, and we don't know how to identify those things from the past to be able to confront them.
Right. I'll tell you something that Tamara said to us. This was a year ago. We were just, bantering back and forth. And she said, we need to get out of people's pockets. We're assuming what they're willing to spend. We can't assume that. We need to ask for our worth and put it on the table. And if they're not willing to spend it, that's fine. There's a whole community out there that's worthy of me and what I want. And you know what? You were never for me to begin with. You weren't my people. And that's fine. You're someone else's people. Usually they'll come back to you when they realize that they really want you. They really need you. That you are worthy of your value that you've placed in front of them, because they'll get something discounted somewhere else and it does not meet their need. It does not meet the pain that they have identified, their very pain that they've identified. You've addressed it. You put your value to it. They walked away, but they'll be back because their pain is still there and you can relieve their pain.
That's it. And
I would give you a standing ovation. Are we in church? Because you are preaching, because that is so true. And you find that it happens, right? People will spend, they'll spend $100 5 times, 10 times. And then by the turn around, they have to come back and spend with you because you're thorough, you get the job done, you give them exactly what they need. So keep sticking with the right audience, and then those people eventually see it, or they won't, right? And if they don't, that's fine. You still understand target audience, your pricing. And I love everything that you got out of this. And, it really sounds, you sound super positive. And now you're like, wait a second, shoulders back. Right? So you're like, shoulders back. I'm worth more. Value, right? So, last week you talked about brick by brick, right? This is just another. This is another brick on top of it. I'm sure you feel that way. So I'm excited to see where things go. I can't wait till we sit down and start working the digital plan. And of course, Michele is coming back for the sales funnel. So that could be interesting. Right?
You can't get rid of me. You can't get rid of me, Michele. So.
I don't want to.
Right? Knowing your worth is crucial. So Ayana's excited about that. So yes. I love that we got to that place. Michele, this was so great. I will definitely talk to you next week. I cannot wait.